Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Reading. Today is Wednesday, December 2nd. And like I said, this is Reading with Mrs. Durham. We are going to be needing page 93 and 94, and those are from your workbook. We probably have taken them out and sent them home with you. But if you have your workbook, it's page 93 and 94. So happy Wednesday, everybody. How are you doing this week? Are you having just an amazing week like you should? I hope so, because I'm having an amazing week too. We're going to start out by rereading a story that we read on Monday, which is called Me on the Map. And it is a cool story. This whole week is about using maps to be able to find different things, to get your way through your house, get your way through a city, get your way through the world, and how to locate things on a map and how they can help us find our way and find things. So we are going to read this story together, Me on the Map. Me on the Map. This is me. There she is. This is me. This is me in my room. Scooch it in a little bit closer so that way you can see. This is a map of my room. This is me on the map of my room. Remember, this is kind of like a top-down view, looking at the room like from the top so you can see how everything is laid out. This is my house. This is a map of my house. This is my room on the map of my house. So there's a picture of her house. There's the map of her whole house, and you can see where it says my room in pink. That is where, if you were looking in the top of her house, this is how her whole house would be laid out. You got the patio, the garage, kitchen, living room, mom and dad's room, bathroom, her room, and her brother's room. So you could know if you walked into her house which way you would go. This is my street. Those are all the different houses on that street. This is a map of my street. So you can see that it says Oak Street, and it has the house numbers in front of them. So this one is 1234 because she showed us that that's what her house looked like. This is a map of my street. This is my house on the map of my street. So she's building out. She's showing you where she is compared to her neighbors. This is my town. Very pretty town. I love that town. It looks like it's such a nice little town, huh? This is a map of my town. This is my street on the map of my town. So here's the big map of the town. So you're not looking so much at the buildings like you did on the last one, but this is showing you all the shapes of the different buildings and kind of looking from up above at the town. And right up there it says Oak Street, and that is her street. This is my state. Remember, state gets a little bit bigger. So you have your house and your street, and then you have your city. And now we're making our way to our state. This is my state. Lots of hills, looks like cows, corn, a couple cities back here, lots of barns and little towns. This is a map of my state. Kansas. That is their state. That's where she lives. This is my town on the map of my state, right there. There has a little dot that says Pleasant Grove. Pleasant Grove, it has a little dot. And this one right here, see how it has a star? That means that's the capital of that state, which means it's like the big city of that state where it is like the center. It's not like in the middle of the map, but it's like the center of where everything happens for Kansas is in Topeka. As the name of the capital of Kansas. This is my country. The United States of America. Ooh, look at all the beautiful stuff in America. We have cities and the Statue of Liberty. We have countryside. We have more cities. We have statues and monuments. We have all sorts of amazing things. The capital of the whole United States, which is Washington, D.C. This is a map of my country, United States of America. This is all the states. Do you remember what state do we live in? What is our state called? Do you remember? Illinois. We live right here in Illinois. This is my state on the map of my country, and they're pointing to Kansas because this is where Kansas is at. So there's Kansas and there's Illinois. Are we pretty close? Yeah, we're pretty close to one another. Missouri is in between the two of our states. So we live up there in Illinois. Here's all the 50 states. This is my world. It is called Earth. It looks like a giant ball. If you could unroll the world and make it flat, so there's what it looks like, how it's in the shape of kind of a ball, because it really is. It's a sphere or like a circle. It would look something like this on the map of the world. This is my country on the map of the world. So there's the whole map of the world. Remember, we have North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, and Antarctica. We live over here in North America. We live over there on the pink one. Kind of right, boop, right in there is kind of where we live. Awesome. What a cool world. So here's how I find my special place on the map. First, I look at the map of the world and I find my country. So there she is. She's finding that we live in North America. Then I look at the map of my country and find my state. Then I look at the map of my state and find my town. So she zoomed in closer and she found Kansas. Now she's looking even closer to see if she can find her town. Then I look at the map of my town and find my street. And just like we found earlier, Oak Street right there. So she's looking close into her town. And on my street, I find my house. There it is, 1234. There's that house picture that she showed us. Oak Street kind of has little clues to help us find it. And in my house, I find my room. She looked at her map and she found out which one was her room. Do you think she probably already knows where her room is? She probably does, but she's doing it to see if she could use her map skills to find out where she was. And in my room, I find me. Just think. In rooms, in houses, on streets, in towns, in countries all over the world, everybody has their own special place on the map. And there is that big map with all of the different kids from all over the world. So cool. Everybody has a special place on the map. No matter where you're from, you have a place that you call home. And that is your place where you live. So cool. I love the map. I love the world and how many different places there are to like explore and find out about. That's why I love this week, because maps are just so cool, because you can literally go explore and find what the world looks like in all sorts of different places and using a map to find it. Awesome. Just like me. Just like me on the map. And look, there's where she drew all of her different kinds of maps. Can you see the floor, how she has all sorts of different maps laying around? Took a lot of different maps to figure out exactly where she was, huh? And then there's the back of the book. All of her tools that she used to make her map. She used crayons, she used scissors, she used all sorts of stuff. I love that story. What's your favorite part of the story? What favorite part of the map? Well, I was going to say the map hunt, but like where we were trying to find her on the map, which part was your favorite? Which one did you like the best? Which one did you feel like, whoa, that is really cool? I do think that this last part where you see all the different kids from all the different places in the world is kind of like a awesome moment, just to see what Maybe even just what they're wearing or what they're doing. See how he's like playing a guitar. She has flowers. He's got a little dog and he's kind of, it looks like maybe he was going hiking on a mountain. It's just so cool to think about what kids do all over the world. So that is a wonderful story. Thank you so much for listening to it with me. Now let's talk about some vocabulary words that we've talked about this week in practice that actually go with some of our story. So this first one really goes with our story. It is locate. Say locate with me. Locate. Locate means you are trying to find something. So she was trying to locate her place in the world and locate herself back at her house, wasn't she? Yeah, that's a lot of locating. Route. Can you say route? Route. Route means you're trying to find your way to a place. So like, what is your route to school? Would you know what streets you took to get to school? What is your route? Okay. So like, I would think that I will take Grove Street, and then I'll go to Newman Street, and then I'll cross by Jackson Street. So, and it kind of like zigzags over to the school. So like, that's my route or how I get somewhere. Height. Height is how tall something is. Model. Model. So kind of looking back at this globe, it's kind of a model. One more. It's kind of a model, or it looks like what the world does look like. Like a globe is a model of the earth and shows us what it looks like in a smaller version. I mean, we can't make a model as big as the earth is, but we can make one that looks like it. That's what a model is something that looks like another thing. And then we have the word separate. Separate means you're sorting things out. We've been doing that actually in math this week. We've been kind of separating different doubles, but see how she is separating. She's going to separate the quarters and the pennies. Okay, that is our vocab for the week. Really quickly before we move on, we actually have another story that we're going to read. But I want to talk about words that end in ES, that say S, which means we are doing something more, like we have more than just one, okay? So we're going to, let's see, I'm going to practice on one of these cool pages. There we go. I'm going to practice over here on this side. So, like, for example, see how she was, like, sketching a map, right? So she might have a sketch. She might have a sketch of one map, but if she has lots of them, she has sketches. She has lots of sketches, which means she has more than one. So I would do sketch. There's TCH as sketches. Like she has more than one sketch of a map. She has sketches of maps, which means she has lots of them. We can also talk about like the word bench. Like maybe the park had a bench. But if the park has a lot, they have a lot of benches. We add ES on the end to make it more than one. We don't just put an S on it. Benches. That doesn't look right. We're going to put ES. Bench is. Bench is on the end of it. Okay, I just wanted to go over that really quickly. And now we're going to talk about our sight words, if I can find out where I put them at. Got them. Found them. All right, these are our sight words for the week. So let's practice reading them together. We have around, around. I rode my bike around town. Place, place. By, by. Walk, walk. Many, many. Good job. Good job practicing those. Okay. We're going to move into our second story of the day. Guess what? It's talking about maps. talking about maps some more, but it is called Fun with Maps. I thought the last one was pretty fun with maps too, so this one is going to be awesome. So go ahead and pause me now because you have this story. It is in your big reading book, okay? Not the one that you write in, but in your big one. It's called Literature Anthology. Big words. It's your big reading book, and it's on page 86, and it says Fun with Maps. Go ahead and pause me now and get this story out. All right, are you ready to read together? So this is a nonfiction text, which means that this is a true story. It is not fake. It is a real story. And our question is, how can you find your way around? Learn how to use a map. So it is called Fun with Maps. If you can follow along with me, use your finger to follow as I read. If you want to try to read with me, that is great too. Here we go. A map is a drawing of a place. A map shows us where we are. It shows us how to get around too. Ooh, there's the word around, which means how to get somewhere. Phil's room. A map can be of a small place. This is a map of Phil's room. How many windows do you see? What is next to Phil's bed? What is by the door? Ooh, okay, so we're looking down at Phil's room. So it says how many? Many means how, like an amount. How many windows do you see? Let's count. So these are kind of windows because they're on the wall, and see how they kind of look like glass? They're kind of, it looks like there's 4 of them, but it's just like if you were looking at a window sideways. So it just has, you know how windows can like have that line in them? So this is just one window. So 1, 2. There are 2 windows. What is next to Phil's bed? Okay, well there's his bed. What is next to it? There's nothing there. Ooh, over here it looks like it's his table with a lamp and a clock. What is by the door? Ooh, so the door actually has this little line that shows you that the door will open and close. What is next to it? The toy box. Good job reading the map. Ooh, here we go. This is a big map. A map can be of a big place. This is a map of a town. What places do you see on the map? Ooh, I see there's town hall, school, market. Well, there's money on the top of there, so I guess that might be a bank. Ooh, library has a book on top of it. Ooh, there's the fire department. What do you think this is with a shoe and a dress? Maybe a clothing store? There's a park. Ooh, there's a hamburger on top of that place, so I bet that is a restaurant. Which street is the market on? Ooh, okay, so we have to go find the market. Where is the market? Ooh, there's the market. Okay, so when we find out what street it's on, it's the street that goes in front of it. The street that goes in front of it. So this street right here, it runs this way. So we got to see, what name is it? West Street. That whole line right there, that West Street goes this whole way. So the market is facing West Street. What is by the firehouse? Ooh, so there's the firehouse. What's by it? We got the clothing store. Ooh, this has that blue box that we talked about. What is that called? That's called the post office. So the post office is by the fire department. How would you walk from the school to the library? Ooh, so the school is here, the library is here. So you'd maybe have to come out on West Street and then maybe turn, this is called Dent Street, so maybe you would turn on Dent Street and then you'd have to turn again, and this street, remember, it's listed right here, but it goes the whole way. This is called March Street. So then you would turn again on March Street, and then you would get to the library. You kind of walk like this. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Right? You could also describe it by, I'm going to walk by the fire department and then turn at this house and then turn again at the library. A map can be a fun place. This is a map of a park. The symbols on the map, ooh, that's a new word, symbols. They stand for real things. On this map, this little picture of a bench stands for a place to eat lunch. A key tells what the symbols mean. Match the symbol in the key with the one on the map. What symbol stands for the pond? What does those swings stand for? So we got to look at this key. Keys tell us where things are at. So you can see that it says that this picture of the water equals the pond. So right there, there's that same picture. The pond must be right there. There we go. This wooden seat equals picnic tables. Can you find the picnic tables? Point to the picnic tables. Right there, that's somewhere where you would eat lunch. These swings, they don't stand for swings because that would start with the S. They stand for playground. So the playground is up there. How about this one? It is the baseball field. Can you point to the baseball field? Now this one has like a trumpet and it says the band shell. Some parks have a place where bands would go and play, and it's kind of like a building that's like a dome because it lets all of their music echo out to the whole park. So that is the band shell. That would be right here. We don't see an actual picture of it, but it has that picture of the key to tell us what it is. And then this one is the snack bar, or somewhere where you can go get snacks, like a little restaurant with the hamburger and the french fries and the drink. This key helps us understand if we were to go to this park and I was like, oh, I need to go to the playground. I could look at this map and say, oh, okay, the playground is up there. I'm going to go to the playground now, and I could walk up there to the playground and know that I would have to go past the pond, past the lunch tables, and up to the playground. The key helps us find things. A lot of times you'll find a really important key like at a zoo. If you go to a zoo, the key will have different pictures and will be like, oh, the monkeys are over here or the penguins are over there. And you can follow your way through the map to figure out where to go for what animals you want to see. A map can be of an imaginary place. This is a treasure map. What routes could you take to get to the chest of gold? This map could help you a lot. Ooh, so here's a treasure map. Treasure islands. You know, X marks the spot, right? So this has a key too. It tells us that this is a pirate ship, that this rock equals a cave. This is a waterfall, volcano. Ooh, this is a cove. It's kind of like a cove is like a little spot of water where it's not like a pond because it can come back out to the ocean. Chest of gold is where X marks the spot. So how we would describe it, we'd go past the cove, out and around the volcano, go by the waterfalls and up to the cave where the chest of gold is. That's how you could describe how to get to there on the map. That is pretty cool. This whole story was about different kinds of maps. Look at all the different maps. Treasure map, park map, town map, and a room map. We talked about Phil's room. We talked about a room, a town. We talked about a treasure map, and we talked about, what was that last one? The park map with the key. Awesome. What was the main idea of this story? This whole story was about different kind of maps, right? And trying to find out where things are located on the map. But we really learned how to read a map on this story. This was a great story. Okay, I want you to pause me now and get page 93 and 94 out. We're going to do those together because they actually go with this story. So get those out right now. Okay, I'm actually going to start on the back side. So it looks like this, which this is page 94, because this goes with our story that we just did. So we'll go back over to the front side in just a second. But I want to do this page first because this goes about our map story that said that the fun with maps. What did we say our main topic was? What was the whole idea of that story? It was to teach us how to read a map. So we're going to write our main topic was how to read a map. Remember, our main topic or our main idea is the whole story is about it. If we weren't talking about maps, we wouldn't have had a story, right? And everything relates to it. Everything was talking about maps. So then we're going to think of some details or things that we learned how to do with maps that made our main idea of how to read a map, made that a whole story about reading maps. What little details did we learn about to make that a whole story? The first detail was kind of at the beginning. What do maps tell us what to do? What do maps tell us? They tell us how to get around, right? That's a detail. That's what they told us in the story was maps tell us how to get around. So we're going to write, actually I don't want to write they. Let's write maps. Maps tell us how to get around. That's what the whole first page was about. That maps tell us how to get around. That's what maps do. They tell us how to get around a room, how to get around a town, how to get around a place. Okay, so that's one detail. One thing that story told us was that maps tell us how to get around. Okay, what's another thing that we learned about maps? It's another detail. Did we look at just one kind of map about Phil's room, or did we look at all different kinds of maps? We looked at all different kinds of maps because there's not just one kind of map. There are tons of different maps. And so we had to learn how to read lots of different kinds of maps because we have to know different places. We're not just only going to look at a room map. You have to look at a town map, or if you go to the zoo, you have to look at a map of a place. So another detail is that we learned all the different types of maps. We learned how to read all types, T-Y-P-E-S, types of maps. And it's hard because I made my pen a little bit thicker so you guys can see it. So my writing, you can probably make yours go closer together, but because my pen is so thick, it's really hard to write, number one, neatly because it's so thick, and number two, to fit everything next to each other like it should be. So we talked about how to read a map, and we said maps tell us how to get around. We learned how to read all types of different maps, because we did. And then there's one other thing that was really important. Really important. We spent 2 whole pages on using this to find things on a map. Do you remember what it is? What did we have to go up and look at to find out what different things meant on the map? Do you remember what that was called? It starts with the K. Key, right? It had symbols and keys to find things on the map, to show us where they were. So we learned how to read a map, and we learned about keys, K-E-Y-S, keys, and, whoops, maybe I wanted to write the word and, I accidentally wrote the and symbol, which you might not know how to make. And symbols. Symbols. We learned about keys and symbols. We learned about that. The key showed us. The key was like what it equaled, but the symbols were the little pictures that showed us what everything was. Okay, about keys and symbols. So go ahead and pause me now to finish filling this out. Then when you're done, we're going to jump over to the other side, which is page 93, and we're going to do that together. Okay? So pause me now if you need to finish writing that. Okay, page 93 looks like this. We are going to use CH, which says ch, or TCH, ch, to complete the word that names the picture. Okay, so we're going to start doing this together. And you guys will like this part because this part's pretty easy down there. But look at this first picture. It's pointing to this. What is this called? Chin. Do we do CH or TCH? Ch, ch. 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 And then the IN is already there for you. So ch, in, chin. Ooh, this one, it's like if you hurt your ankle and you'd have to walk with some crutches. Crutch. So, but just one of them would be called a crutch. Ch, ch. TCH. TCH is at the end of that one. Crutch. Crutch. Can't really hear that T. It's kind of secretive sometimes. Crutch. Your mouth kind of makes the T movement. All right, you finished 3 and 4. Letter B says just write WH to complete the word and then read it. So all we have to do is write WH. N. When. That's pretty simple. Write PH to complete the word. Do this one on your own. Write PH to complete the word. Graph. 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 Graph is like when you would put something like on a chart to see where it's at. Graph. And then the last one says, write a sentence using one of these words. You get to choose any word up there, and you get to make your own sentence. Thank you guys so much for listening to Reading About Maps with me. I know that this was kind of a long lesson, but we had a lot to read, and we had a lot to do today. So you guys are amazing, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow for more reading together. If you have any questions, let me know. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!